If you want the Chicago Bears to beat the Green Bay Packers, I hope you do. FGB in the comments. Hit that like button. Like this video. I better see 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 likes on today's show. If you don't want to beat the Packers, I question your fandom. Hit that like button right now. All right. Ian Rapoport of the NFL Network went on TV today and basically described the Justin Fields and Bears QB decision that is upcoming as a difficult one, to use a specific word that he did. And he's not the first one who said this. Courtney Cronin and Jeremy Fowler of ESPN talked about this. Now Rapoport is reporting in. The point being is I do think there are debates likely happening within Halas Hall on what to do at that quarterback position. Here's what Rap Sheet had to say. Quote, he has made this an unbelievably difficult decision. What this is about is, do you want Justin Fields, and then you rebuild your roster with other players, plus give him an extension either this offseason or next offseason? We'll talk about that part in a second. Or do you move him, get the draft capital that comes with that, and basically restart with an unknown rookie quarterback with the cheap salary that comes with that? Let me just first say this. One thing that continues to bug me with the Fields discussion is this idea that you have to commit to a long-term extension this offseason or even next offseason. You don't have to do that. You've got 2 years of team contractual control, and especially this offseason. Like, I like Justin Fields a lot. I'd be more than happy if they kept him. I even am probably leaning toward that way, although I have not made a final decision. I would not sign him to an extension this offseason unless it was very team-friendly. Because you have him for $6.01 million next year, and in 2025, it's $21.9 million, which is not a lot of money for a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. That, of course, is if they pick up the fifth-year option, which they would have to make that decision this offseason, which, to be clear, if they keep him, I think they should do that. We'll dive into that in just a second as well. But I keep hearing, well, if you keep him, you have to do the contract. You don't, though. I know normally quarterbacks after year 3 or 4 get that extension. Doesn't mean you have to do that. What's he going to do? Not show up for year 4? I think he's going to show up and play ball. So I think especially for this offseason, you don't have to factor in a potential extension if you don't want to. And I think that would be the way I would go. I would not give him an extension this offseason, even if I'm in the camp of keeping him, because just pick up the fifth-year option. You're good to go. Would you exercise Justin Fields' fifth-year option if he isn't traded? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Get your votes in down in the comments section. If the Bears do not trade Justin Fields, I do think they should pick up that fifth-year option. Even if next year went poorly, like $21 million against your books the year after, yeah, it's not like nothing, but it's not going to just bury you as a team. Like, it's not it's not Daniel Jones, right, where the Giants are stuck with him on their books next year no matter what they do at quarterback, right? $21 million is not that big of a deal, and that's what the Giants should have done. They should have exercised his fifth-year option so they didn't feel forced to extend or sign him to that big contract last year. The Bears can go the other way. They could say, hey, we're not ready to commit to you long term, but we'll pick up your fifth year. That locks you in for $21 million the year after, which is still life-changing money for Justin Fields. And then it gives the Bears more time to make that long-term decision, see how it goes next year with better pieces on this football team. More for me and Rapoport. He says, I would describe it, the QB decision the Bears have to make, as to be determined. A lot of this is how do the Bears evaluate these rookie quarterbacks to be, and are they going to be better than Fields? Which, that's a great point, right? Like, when you look at this, if you're Ryan Poles in this front office, like Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jayden Daniels, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, whoever, do you have a strong feeling that one of these guys is going to be a clear upgrade? Maybe not in year 1, but by year 2 or year 3. And that's really what this comes down to. 2-part question. Does Ryan Poles think Justin Fields can be the quarterback for this team to win a Super Bowl, especially if the roster continues to improve? If he answers that question out loud to himself as no, that's a problem. So if not, does he think any of these rookies to be can? And if the answer to that part is yes, then yes. If your 2 answers to that are no on Fields, yes on one of these rookies, then you should draft a quarterback. If it's a combination of no, no, or yes, no, or yes, yes, then you potentially go the other way because you continue to build this roster, even if you're not convinced on Fields. But if you're not convinced on one of these rookies, then the safe route is just keep building, trade the first pick for a haul, and continue to build, because I think at minimum you're a playoff team with Justin Fields next year, because, hell, they should have been this year if they didn't blow those fourth quarter leads. Today's show sponsored by PrizePicks. Shout out to PrizePicks, daily fantasy made easy. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Create an account today and use the promo code CLNS to get a $100 deposit bonus. You want to spice things up even more for Bears-Packers this week? Well, go ahead and track me on this 3-player entry I got. I think Justin Fields is going to leave it all on the line in this Packers game. There's a lot at stake for him in his career. Give me the more on his rushing yards. I think he rushes for 60+. DJ Moore, he's been so good with Justin this year. I think he hits 66+ receiving yards. And Jordan Love's been kind of either red hot or ice cold. Bears defense is playing well. Give me the less on his passing yards. It's going to be cold as well. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100 when you sign up today. That link is in the comments and in the description. Get started with PrizePicks right now. Luke Getsy, is this his final game on this Bears coaching staff as offensive coordinator? Well, we'll have to wait and see on that one. He was asked today, kind of like looking to the future, what he thinks that looks like for him, because obviously, at least from the fan base standpoint, he's been put on the hot seat. He kind of declined to talk about that. He said, hey, we're focused on Green Bay. We're trying to win this game. And look, that's classic coach speak. I wouldn't expect him to say anything else. He did open up about Justin Fields, though, and here's what he had to say. He says, we have a great relationship. We work really well together. He inspires me daily with his mentality, his focus, his faith, all that stuff. We have a really good relationship, and I think Justin's future is super bright. That last part, I think his future is super bright. I don't want to read too much into it, but I almost wonder if he's, saying that in a standpoint of, regardless of where he goes or where I go, I think he's going to be a good player in the future. It didn't really sound like hey, us together, we can continue to build this thing in a good direction. Now, maybe I'm reading too much into that. I don't know, but I do think that Sunday's important for Luke Getsy. I think a strong offensive output, not only for Justin in his career, potentially with the Bears, but for Getsy to put another strong game together after a good game against Atlanta, which I thought was one of Getsy's better games with the Bears, could really have a strong impact, because there's an argument to be made that if you keep Justin Fields, then keeping Luke Getsy, albeit with his faults, does make some sense, so he doesn't have to learn a new offense in year 4. That would be his third offense in 4 years. So I understand that side of it. But again, if he lays an egg and he makes some brutal play calls and key decisions, which has been a problem at times for him, then you almost have no choice but to make a change. So Sunday, I do think, is very, very important for Luke. What would you do with Luke Getsy? Would you fire him or would you keep him? Type F for fire or K for keep. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Speaking of this matchup, Luke Getsy going up against his former employer, Bears, Packers at Lambeau Field. Packers a narrow 3-point favorite, over-under in this one, 44.5. So Vegas basically saying a 24-21 game in the Packers' favor, which, hey, if you're the Bears, get it close in the fourth quarter on the road, have a chance to win, you would certainly sign up for that. Now, you look at the injury report for the Bears at Thursday's practice. Tyson Bagent did not practice. He's dealing with an illness. We talked earlier that they worked out a quarterback. We'll tell you who here in just a second. Darnell Mooney still in the concussion protocol. And this is kind of a side story, but I wonder if we've seen the end of Mooney in Chicago. Didn't play last week with the concussion. Not trending toward playing this week with the concussion. That would be a shame if he didn't get to play in this final Bears-Packers game, regardless of his future, but doesn't look like he's going to clear. Mercedes Lewis, his rest day has been Thursday all year, so he didn't practice, but he'll be good to go. Jalen Johnson with the shoulder, he's said multiple times this week he's going to play. They're just resting him up. And then Patrick Scales, the long snapper. The Bears worked out another long snapper today. He's been dealing with that foot injury. It's very possible he's not able to play, so they may have to go with a different long snapper. I mentioned on our video earlier today, the Bears did work out free agent quarterback Chris Streveler, spent some time in the CFL. He's bounced around the NFL. That is just because obviously Tyson Bagent is ill, so you only have 2 quarterbacks right now, Justin Fields and Nathan Peterman. So having a third quarterback in the room during a game week is certainly very, very valuable. We'll see if they actually sign him, but they did work him out. Guys who were limited on Thursday, Khalil Herbert with the back injury. That's news, so keep an eye on that. He was not on the injury report yesterday, so that's certainly notable. Cole Kmet with a knee. He was limited. He did not practice yesterday, so he's trending up. DJ Moore still limited with an ankle, but fully expect him to play as well. And listen, I know the Bears can't make the playoffs, but I'm not sure the last time I've been this fired up about a watch party. Bears, Packers, Sunday. Get the FGBs going in the comment section right now. FGB, FGB, FGB. And join our watch party. Bears, Packers will be live this Sunday at probably about 2:15 Central Time. So subscribe, turn on your notifications. We'll get you ready for kickoff, and we'll stay live and react to this entire ball game as the Bears look to spoil the Packers' chances.